So addictions are born from a place where there is absolutely no connection. Habits are not addictions. Habits are habits that you basically grow into. Uh, and it's easy to snap a habit. If you work a little harder, you can come out of your bad habits. Habits are still in your control. Addictions are not in your control. That is why it's called an addiction. It controls you. You don't control it. You have to heal. You have to find a purpose. You have to do something that is going to change your brain, which is meditation, yoga, and other things. If you can do all these three together, then definitely you can come out of these addictions. All addictions can be conquered.
Namaste, Krishnaji. My question is, what is addiction? How do we know we are addicted to addiction?
Normally a behavior where you are obsessively addicted to something. So if you look at the root of addiction, the root of addiction is normally from a place of tremendous hurt, dissatisfaction with life, disappointment with life, unable to come out of that hurt, come out of that feeling of loneliness, separation, disconnection. So addictions are born from a place where there is absolutely no connection. It is born from a place where you do not feel a sense of belonging. You do not feel a sense of belonging to your family, to your friends, to anything around the world. You feel your sense of experience of life is something where you're lost, and where nothing is making any sense or meaning to you. So from this space arises addiction, and addictions are of many types. You have external addiction and you also have inner addiction. External addictions are, of course, we generally think addictions are just, like something like a bad, addicted to something bad, like alcohol or drugs or smoking. All these are addictions, but also gossiping is an addiction. Just being by yourself, not relating to anyone, is also an addiction. Excessively getting engaged in something which is totally unnecessary, but you're constantly engaging yourself, that also is an addiction. So addiction is something where you are obsessively engaged in something. You're obsessively doing it without any control. Though inside you might know what you're doing is not right and something that you want to be free of, but yet you continuously do that. It's beyond your control, and that is addiction. But the root of addiction is arising from a space of not feeling connected, not feeling loved, having a sense of tremendous hurt. All these are the roots from where addiction arises. So unless until you heal, and unless until you feel that connection, feel that love back in your heart, it's very hard for you to come out of addiction. So yeah.
Namaste, Krishnaji.
Yes.
What is the difference between habit and addiction? And
Habit and addiction. Oh, good question. So
and when does habit turns into an addiction?
habits are normally something that you do regularly. So for example, brushing your teeth in the morning is a habit. Waking up and doing, let's say you're going for a jog or a walk, is an habit. So these are habits that you develop, and habits can be categorized into good habit and bad habits. So for example, if you're lazy, it's a bad habit. If you're active in your life, it's a good habit. If you're speaking too many lies, it's a bad habit. If you're sticking to truth, it's a good habit. Exercising in the morning is a good habit. So certain habits you actually cultivate it in your life, like exercise, yoga, meditation, all these things. Certain habits are must habits, like brushing your teeth, combing your hair, and all these things are like habits that you just need to do. But habits are not addictions. Habits are habits that you basically grow into. And it's easy to snap a habit. If you work a little harder, you can come out of your bad habits. But bad habits can turn into addictions, and they turn into addictions when it becomes obsessive in nature, when it becomes compulsive in nature. Habits are still in your control. Addictions are not in your control. That is why it's called an addiction. It controls you. You don't control it. So every bad habit can turn into an addiction. Yeah, can habits turn into addiction? Yes, it can. In unawareness, when you get too indulged in that bad habit, it can turn into an addiction. But understand that again, addictions are coming from a space of lack. It is coming from a space of hurt. It is coming from a space of not belonging. That is how you move into addictions. Okay.
Namaste, Krishnaji. My question is following routine also an addiction?
Is following a routine also an addiction? Good question. Could be, because if you're sticking to, let's say, a particular timetable and a particular schedule every day and every week of your life, the way you can call it an addiction is when it gets disturbed. So if you're following a routine and that routine is flexible, then you're not addicted to it. But let's say in that routine there is a slight delay in certain things happening, or things are not going according to your plan, then you get very emotionally imbalanced, you get anxious, you're not happy, then you can call it addiction. Now you got addicted to the routine. You're not addicted to what you're doing in the routine, but rather you're addicted to the scheduling itself. That things must happen on time. This is what I need to do at this time. I need to eat at this time, walk at this time, sleep at this time, have my supplements at this time, meet my family at this time. So it's become a very scheduled life, and that's a routine life. So it's more like a military life where you're following, a very systematic way of living. And if then again it becomes an addiction because now time is controlling you. You are going by the clock, and anything that is changing in the time, you get very disturbed, you get angry, your thoughts are haywire, you get stressed. Then it's an addiction, absolutely. So all addictions are, you must understand, are either pleasure driven, or they are time driven, or they are very deep habit driven. But all these three come from slowly a place of lack of connection, being hurt. It's coming from that space. Yeah, you're not connected. When you are in a routine, you are never connected to anybody, right? What you're connected to is the time. You're actually not connected. You're spending time with your child, let's say. You're looking at your clock. I have 2 more minutes. I have 5 more minutes. I need to go. So where are you connected? You're not connected. And even if you're walking or taking a jog, you're like, okay, I need to finish my walk in the next 5 minutes. You're not enjoying your walk. You're not connected to the walk. You're not seeing anything that is surrounding you. All that you're bothered about is your time. So you're controlled by time. Once something externally is controlling you, like time, like smoking, like alcohol, drugs, these are all external factors that are controlling you, then all those are addictions. So routine could become an addiction, yeah. Yes. Yes, Krishna.
As you just said about external addictions, and that's something that our society is able to understand, that yes, we do have these addictions and we are trying to address.
Yeah.
The rest of it, we are still not able to understand, at least the vast majorities. So at least the kind of addictions that we are able to understand, like substance abuse, alcohol, smoking, how do we really deal with it and come out of it? Because that again has a huge impact on our other sufferings and other addictions when it comes to abuse.
See, addictions are also coming from a place where your brain has got wired in a particular way. So brain is playing a very important role in addiction. So what starts off as a habit, slowly the brain has taken control of it as an addiction. So initially, when you're doing something, let's say without awareness, you just got to, let's say, smoking 2 cigars a day. Now you're still in control, but then slowly your brain is getting wired for 2 cigars a day, and then now you're not able to be without 2. Then it becomes 3, 4, 5, and then ultimately it becomes like, let's say, 10 cigars a day or 15 cigars a day. Now what has happened is you also wired your brain to depend on these cigars, you cannot be without having 10 or 15 cigars. So a change must happen in your brain for you to become free of addiction. But the root cause of what got you into that addiction is a place, let's say, where you got hurt. You got hurt with your family, or you got hurt with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you got hurt with the system, or you got hurt with life itself not moving in the way you wanted to move. So by smoking, you got into a pleasure, because smoking does give you that sense of calm and some kind of, one can say, the stress is gone. You think about something else. So to escape from that stress, to escape from that feeling lost, now you started getting into addiction. So two things must happen. One, you must heal. You must take a journey where you have to heal. You have to heal that hurt. You have to heal that where you're feeling a sense of being lost, sense of not feeling belonged. You must heal that space. Second, what must happen to you is you must find some kind of a purpose in life. People who are addicted are people who are lost in life. They have got nothing makes sense for them. They're lost with everything. So slowly you must get to a space of finding that purpose in life. It may not be something very big, but something which is giving you the joy, which is giving you that fulfillment, which is giving you that happiness. And normally that purpose comes when you help someone. So you have to find that out. The third is you have to work towards actually changing your brain. And that happens through meditation, it happens through yoga, it happens through right diet, it happens through exercise, all these things. All these three have to go together. So you have to heal, you have to find a purpose, you have to do something that is going to change your brain, which is meditation, yoga, and other things. If you can do all these three together, then definitely you can come out of these addictions. All addictions can be conquered. There is no addiction that cannot be conquered. In fact, we see so many people who come to our courses who are addicted. They're addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs, addicted to womanizing, addicted to smoking, and you see that they are finding freedom from it. And the reason they're finding freedom from it is they've healed, they've found some new purpose in their life, and in the processes that they go through with us, their brain has changed. The wiring in the brain has changed because you have healed. As you heal, the brain is changing. And also when you become aware that this is what has actually made me into an addict, this is what is driving me into addiction. Once you become aware of that, the brain is immediately forming new neural connections. The brain is changing, and the addiction no more controls you. You start controlling it and coming out of it. So it is possible to become free of all these addictions. Healing is very important.